want everyone to think of something that they want to, I don't know, either improve upon or change their mindset on, or something you want to grow on. So all we're going to do first is we're going to close our eyes and then just take a few nice deep breaths in. And then exhaling. That's it. A few more deep breaths in. And as you exhale, just allow your body just to begin to relax and allow your minds to become calm and quiet. I find for me, it helps to imagine my thoughts like a lake or a stream, that we've all seen it on those nights where it looks like it's not even flowing. It just becomes so calm, so serene, so quiet. But as you know, if someone were to throw a pebble or a rock into that water, it would create some ripples. Just like your thoughts, those ripples just begin to fade away to nothing. You get to enjoy that calm, peaceful, serene feeling. Because now we all have that feeling, that voice. And it tells us what we can do, who we are. It even tells us our limitations. Now, the cool thing is with your first impression, there's always a color connected to that voice. And just notice what color that would be. That's right. Because now, imagine if your higher self, the universe, the divine, or whatever powers that are within your life that are the most powerful. What if that knew exactly when you created it, how you created it, what events were involved? And if it could send you a color, a feeling, a vibration of energy that would completely dissolve this thought and the voice behind it to allow space for something better, what color would it need to send you? First impression, just notice what color that would be. Because now just let a big ball of that energy float above your head. That's right. Notice that big ball of energy as it begins to grow and expand. Imagine it's filling up the entire room from floor to ceiling, from wall to wall, and every point in between. Notice how it wraps itself around you like an amazing blanket of empowerment, of release, of relief. Just like a cocoon, a shield, a suit of armor, insulating you, protecting you. That's right. From all the negative voices, real or imagined. At the same time, it's just flooding in through your mind, flooding over your body, flooding your spirit with everything you most want and everything you most need. In this infinite, ever expanding and unlimited supply. And when you know that you've got that, breathe in that magical color through your entire being. Let it fill you up like water filled up a bottle, like fluid filled up a test tube, like hot air or helium fills up a balloon, and anchor it in so fully. That's right, so completely that there's no force in the universe that could turn it off or take it away. Not even you. And as you do that, make sure you take an extra blast of that supercharged energy and allow it to flow through that area where that voice used to be. And when you know you've done that, just test it, find out what happens, and notice how good you feel. That's right. Because now, just imagine you can float up out of your body and begin to move backwards in time, back to the womb, back before your very first memory. Maybe even imagine it's that point when you were just one single cell, getting ready to embark on an amazing adventure. And what if you could just imagine flowing into that one tiny cell with all the knowledge, all the wisdom, all the understandings that you've created? Because now you can merge into that cell. Teach that little cell everything it's ever going to need to know, everything it's ever going to need to feel, to believe, to experience, to understand, to know what you already know. Because here's the amazing thing. As that little cell just begins to multiply, feel, breathe the colors that you've acquired on your journey in this life through that little baby cell. And just notice what happens, especially that one connected to that voice and that energy. Feel it strengthen you, inoculate you, give you the understanding you didn't have in that other life. And when you know you got that, let's go on a little journey. Feel the transformation in your body. Amplify, multiply this one little baby cell as it becomes two little baby cells. And those two little baby cells double again in the force and the power and the energy and the understanding and the strength and the ability to choose what to take in, what to listen to, and what to discard and ignore. Those two cells become four, four becomes eight cells become 16. Just feel it growing. Feel the form of you coming into as 8 becomes 16, as 16 becomes 32, 32 becomes 64. Multiplying, amplifying, building up that reservoir, that stockpile, that unimaginable, infinite ability to choose, to change, to understand differently. Now, and you may notice a new voice, a better voice starting to grow, a voice of absolute trust, a voice that loves you, a voice that only wants the very best things for you. It's a voice of strength, of comfort, of protection, of wisdom and understanding. A voice that gives you really good advice. And you may begin to notice that those cells begin to multiply and grow. That a sense of wherever you go, whatever you do, this voice, right, this voice of love will always be with you, minding you, telling you, teaching you things, telling you the best perspectives to take on any situation or circumstance that you encounter. And as those cells continue to multiply, listen to that voice. Because when we all grow up, we all have one of those other voices. And sometimes it just takes that special person to teach, to mentor, to show what's really true. A mentor or a person that can teach and give you the best advice with no other agenda than to love, to help you become the very best version of yourself that you could be. And after going through these amazing processes, gaining certain understanding, certain experiences, you now have a voice like that, a voice of absolute trust, peace, and protection. You may notice as those cells and the power within them begin to multiply, that voice starts to pulls in other aspects of other voices that you've encountered in your life. Voices of people who took a real interest in you, who took time to mentor you, to guide you, to love you unconditionally, to teach you and show you things that were really, really true. And I just want you to become more aware, if you can, of how the quality, the richness of that voice grows, reminding you as those cells continue to multiply. Several important pieces that you must always be aware of, that no matter where you go, no matter what you do, no matter what life hands you, no matter who comes into your life, or even who goes out, Because as people do good things sometimes, and sometimes they do not so good things, this voice will remind you. This voice will keep you safe. It will teach you the best perspective about things, remind you of all the very best things about you, and a voice that you can always trust, a voice you can always believe, a voice that speaks 10 times louder than any other voice, and a voice that drowns out every other voice. So for as long as your heart continues to beat and your little lungs continue to breathe, this voice will go with you, reminding you that you're always loved, protected, accepted, forgiven for all wrongs, real or imagined, and you're never, ever alone. And when you take a moment or two in this growing space to listen, to understand, to let this new voice take root so deep inside in every cell, it becomes as if it's a little speaker reminding you, I'm here. You got this. You're always good enough. Just take a moment as those cells within you begin to multiply and grow and empower, feeding you, telling you all the things you most need to hear that you needed to hear in those critical moments that you know would have made all the difference. Listen to them. Watch them grow as 100 cells become thousands of cells and thousands of cells become 10,000 of cells, and this voice growing louder and stronger within you, reminding you over and over again, you're always good enough. People will do good things in your life, and sometimes people will do listen. Hear this voice telling you all those important things, the best perspectives to take, how to approach it. Saying, avoid that, go do that, go for it. You deserve it. You own this. You are always good enough. So take another few moments to listen more fully to that voice. Listen to all the messages of that new voice. Your voice has to share with you. Let it take root in that place where that old voice tried to live. Feel it take root and feel it grow. And maybe it moves into your heart and it begins to radiate through your entire being. But if you really listen, you notice it doesn't come from just that one place, because it's in every part of you, every cell, reminding you, teaching you, keeping you safe, inspiring you for all the right reasons, reminding you, you got this, you are loved, you are protected, accepted, forgiven for all wrongs, real or imagined, and you are always good enough. And you're never, ever alone. And I would like you to notice when you listen to that voice, and you hear it, and you feel it vibrating and resonating inside of you, that there's a place in your body that feels the strongest, where it grows, where it spreads from. Just notice where that is. Because maybe you might notice there's a color there, or even a series of colors connected to this amazing experience. You can breathe that wonderful color through your entire being. Let it fill you up like water fills up a bottle, like fluids fills up a test tube, like hot air, helium fills up a balloon. And anchor it in so fully, so completely. No force in the universe can take it away or turn it off, not even you. And when you realize that's true, test it. Try to bring back that other voice and notice what happens instead. That's right. And at some point, this amazing growth period where all those cells are multiplying, amplifying, become fully formed within that voice. And at some point comes that moment. It's time to enter this brave new world in a moment of birth, and you pass through the opening, bringing all this wisdom, this knowledge, this understanding, this peace, this love, this forgiveness with you. Through that first day, notice that voice is there. It's comforting you. It's explaining things to you. It's helping you understand, to see the world properly. Day two, it grows even stronger, more soothing, more comforting, more empowering, more liberating, because you realize you're on an adventure. And wherever you go and whatever you do, this voice goes with you. Days 3 and 4 and 5, growing stronger and stronger. 6, 7, a week, 2 weeks, get stronger and stronger. This voice continues to grow stronger. At a month, 2 months turn into 4 months, 4 months become 8, then a year, 1 year becomes 2. Every moment of every day, this voice teaches you, explaining things to you. Notice how you move through the years of your life with this voice guiding you, teaching you, telling you what to do, telling you what's coming and how to make it better. Year 2 and 3 and 4, every now and again, you just stop, look back and realize how this voice is by your side. It's inside and out, it's listening, it's teaching. And you look around and you realize your life is so amazing because this voice is always there for you, to guide you, to love you. 1000%, it teaches you all the things you need to know in that moment. It holds your hand, it gives you that hug, it reminds you of all the very best things about you, reminding you that you are always good enough. You are never alone. Allow yourself to move through the years of your life as rapidly and as fully and as comfortably with this voice guiding you, teaching you. He's inspiring you, he's motivating you, he's protecting you when necessary. Listen, and then listen again, listen again. Because no matter where you go, no matter what you do, no matter who comes into your life and who leaves, no matter what good things people do and the not so good things, this voice stays with you, reminding you of all the very best things about you. And a voice that you can always trust, a voice you can always believe, a voice that speaks 10 times louder than any other voice. That you're good enough, you're always loved, you're always accepted, you're always protected, you are always forgiven for all wrongs, real or imagined, and you're never, ever alone. And move forward through this life with this voice at the rate and speed that is comfortable for you. And when you get to the present moment, just back here, being that person in that chair, bringing that voice with you, that's impossible to turn off. That drowns out every other voice. Just nod your head and let me know so that we can continue on. Very good. Very good. Because now in a moment, not yet, but in a moment, I'm just going to count from 5 to 1. And when I reach the number 1, you can emerge from this process like a phoenix rising from the ashes, like a butterfly emerging from its cocoon. One phase of your transformation complete, and the next phase, the best phase, just beginning. As 5, you're ready to spread your wings, take to the air, to soar amongst the clouds and experience life, the universe, and everything in it from a much higher place, a more enlightened perspective. Head clear, mind clear, heart clear, soul clear. And through it all, this voice goes with you, doing what it's always done. From the time you were conceived, reminding you of all the very best things about you, in a voice that you can always trust, a voice you can always believe, a voice that speaks 10 times louder than any other voice, that drowns out every other voice. So as long as your lungs continue to breathe and your heart continues to beat, every time you look inside and listen, you'll hear this voice speaking exactly what you need to hear, reminding you of all those amazing things. It's 4, every suggestion and direction from me to you but more importantly, from you to your very own other than conscious mind, to every cell of your being now 10 times stronger, 100 times more powerful, 1,000 times more thrilling and fulfilling and satisfying than ever before. Embrace how locked in that part of your mind, body, and soul that most wants, desires, can implement, facilitate, embody, personify, and express these changes in all the right ways that give you the life you want, the way you want it, by your standards and your definitions. Three, because there's always at least three ways to overcome any situation, obstacle, or circumstance that you ever may face. Or you may think of it as at least three solutions to any problem that you need to solve. And your powerful, other than conscious mind in this voice will give you those solutions in the easiest, quickest, most effective way for the good of yourself and all concerned. Two, because this is all for you. You've made the investment. You've made this journey. You've followed along. You've most certainly tested the results and you've earned, and I really mean earned the rewards and the right to keep them. This is your reality. This is your truth. This is your life. And you get to live it to the fullest starting now. And on the next count, you can emerge from this process, bringing this voice with you, a voice that will stay with you for as long as your heart continues to beat and your lungs continue to breathe, that each night while you sleep and while you dream, this voice will change your mind. This voice will change your brain, connecting parts of your brain to unlock and build new skills, new abilities, new understandings, new perspectives to accelerate at the speed at which you learn and allow the power of loving yourself unconditionally, no matter what. This voice will go with you, and upon each and every morning, upon awakening, you'll see the world through these new eyes. You're going to hear the world through these brand new ears. You're going to experience the world through a mind and body and spirit alive with transformation. And through it all, this voice will stay with you, guiding you, teaching you, inspiring you, reminding you of all the very best things about you. And a voice that you can always trust, a voice you can always believe, a voice that speaks 10 times louder than any other voice, that drowns out every other voice, allowing you to feel amazing all over, glad to be alive, ready to thrive, and one, taking your time, coming back, noticing how good you feel, how excited you are for the upcoming days and all the new experiences that are coming your way.